Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Bloom Outdoors. So if you guys checked out the last video, then you would know what we did to the truck, which that would be the new upper control arms and the new struts. So as you can see, that is what it looks like. Nobody really told me if I should keep the sticker on or take it off. So as of right now, they're still on everything. That's just kind of what it looks like. Haven't had any issues with it. Got the truck aligned. It rides really good. It rides a lot better than it did before. And it also looks a lot better than it did before. So in this video, we're just going to be talking about how the ride quality is on the Rough Country Vertex system, with that being the coilover struts in the front and the shocks in the rear. They're both adjustable, 1 to 8 for your adjustability settings. So if you can tell, in the rear, I'm running them on 1. I have done quite a bit of play with them to figure out how I like it the best. I found that with the shocks, I like it better at 1 in the rear, and with the struts in the front, then 3 seems to ride the best. So I had the front and the rear on 1, but to me, it just seemed like too loose almost. I don't know what exactly to say. It rode pretty good. I just felt like the front end felt really loose, and it kept kind of bouncing, like hopping up and down, because you have so much weight in the front with the tires, the engine, all that heavy stuff up here, and with the additional weight from all the lift, then it just, there's a lot of weight in the front of the truck, and I felt like when it was on 1, it just rode kind of just weird to me, just because it hopped around a lot. So I found when I put it on 3, it seemed to ride the best for me. It kind of stiffened it up a little bit, got rid of some of that like weight drag you could feel in the front, but there's no weight in the rear. You know, you have like the bed, that's basically it. You don't have an engine sitting back here or anything. So I found that with the rear shocks, it actually rides the best on 1. But also, that's just my own personal opinion. If you guys have this system, you can run it on whatever you want to. But if you guys know, then before I had the V2 shocks in the rear, and then I had the regular lifted struts in the front. The lifted struts came with the N3 shock in the strut assembly itself. With the settings on here, just to compare, I would say that was probably about a 5 or a 6. So if I was to turn this knob over here at probably like a 5, then that's about how those lifted struts would ride. And in my opinion, I would probably say that if you retain the original struts and just add that spacer in there, then it would probably ride even worse, just because you have all that compression in there. But I'm not for sure. I haven't put those on and used them myself, so I can't say for sure, but if I was guessing, that's what I would say. In the rears, like I said, I had the V2 shocks back here. I would say those probably rode about how a 4 did. So it was kind of stiff, but not extremely stiff. The ride wasn't terrible in the rear, but you could definitely notice a change when I put the shocks on. It definitely rides a lot smoother now. I have a lot of places here in town to test this out and really figure out how I like it best. Basically, any road here is absolute crap with all the salt that gets down every winter, and then the road just gets torn apart, and then the humidity. Speaking of humidity, you can see what happened to my taillights. I literally just noticed this before I started filming this. Apparently this one decided to crack open and get moisture in there. The other side is fine, the headlights are fine. It's just this one taillight kind of upsetting, especially because of how custom they are done for the truck. Then it's kind of upsetting, but it is what it is. Stuff's gonna break, stuff's gonna happen. You know how it goes. But I don't really want to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to tell you guys how it rode, and in my personal opinion, it rides absolutely awesome. But with all that being said, I'm not 100% sure how it would ride if you do retain the factory upper control arms, because I put on the BDS upper control arms. So I would maybe say without the upper control arms, you might have to run it at like a 2, because it might be a little bit stiffer. And I feel like with these BDS upper control arms, you probably get a little bit more play in them, just because of how beefy and bigger they are, or how much more bigger they are than the factory ones. That would be my guess, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm no scientist when it comes to this stuff, so I'm just kind of guessing there. But like I did say, it definitely rides better in the front and rear than how it did before. It honestly feels like you're floating on a cloud. Like I did say, the roads here are absolute garbage. And when you were in how it was before, you could definitely tell it was a game changer. But I also want to say with this whole thing, I am running 12 wide wheels and 35 tires. So They are a lot bigger than the factory ones. I would say if you had factory size on here, or maybe even like a 10.5 wide on like a 33 or something, or like 11.5 by a 35 on stock wheels, or maybe even like some aftermarket 18x9s or something, then I'm guessing it's going to ride a lot better just because you have so much less weight from the wheels and tires. You can definitely feel the wheel and tire setup dragging the truck down and all that weight staying down on the ground. So like when this was set on setting 1, you could really tell a difference because the wheels and tires just wanted to pull the truck down on the ground, but the suspension was kind of not wanting to do that. It was kind of wanting to just float and hop with stuff. So that's why you could feel the whole thing just kind of bouncing up and down because the tires were flat on the ground, but the whole like cab and frame was just bouncing up and down. So in my personal opinion, I would say 3 rides the best in the front, and I have the rears set on 1. I'm sure if you guys have this, you probably run it different, might run it the same. I don't know. What I read before all this was putting them both at about a 4 is pretty good. But in my opinion, that's about how they rode before. And so I bought the new ones. I figured why not just make it a super nice ride. So I have it cranked to 1 and 3, like I've said. But I don't really know what else to mention with this video. If I do any kind of in-cab driving, it's really, I don't know how to explain it, but you're really just not going to be able to tell that big of a difference. Maybe just the shakiness of how I'm holding the camera when I hit bumps. But no matter what bump we hit here in town, you're going to be able to see the camera shake. That's just how bad the roads are. So it's really hard to really show you guys the difference of the new suspension components, but I can just explain to you here briefly that they are much better than what I was running before. But I really am not sure what else to say with the video because I can't really show you. I kind of just have to explain it to you, or you have to ride in the truck or a truck with this setup to understand what I'm actually talking about. But I think that's kind of just going to be it for the video because like I said, I don't know what else to explain to you guys or show you guys. But just if you do have any questions about how it rides or what I did or anything like that, go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know. But that's pretty much it for the video. So as always, thanks for watching another video of Bloom Outdoors. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.